All right, here we go. Kinesiology 230. This is chapter 15, and the slide's predominantly yellow. I'm wearing yellow, so we must be in module 3. This is presentation number 1. So be to say chapter overview. All right, so in chapter 15, we're talking about resistance training program design. We're looking at specificity, overload, variation, progression, regression, sequencing, how to select exercises, etc. The book tries to go into exhaustive detail, and I think it's to an extent that maybe it's in line with the class, but I think there's some areas where they could have done a little better, some areas where I think they kind of overdid it. But I'll get into those as we go through the presentation. We're looking at training loads, volumes, rest periods, etc. They give you a pretty solid topical overview of that, but this is a pretty deep dive when you go into that subject. And you'll probably end up doing that later on in your academic career. Variation between training sessions, training days, and training weeks, that makes sense, but we'll talk a little bit about that further. And then when training loads need to be increased or varied. So this is kind of the breakdown of the sections in the chapter, like the main bullet point headings of the chapter, from general training principles all the way down to sample programs, which you really won't focus on too much. You can look at those at your leisure. They're pretty good, but again, when you get into your own program, and you're going to make your own stuff up anyways. So I figure we won't spend a lot of time there, but we're going to jump in the next presentation, going over the top half, maybe top quarter of this list, and then we'll break through. And I got to tell you, this chapter required about 10 presentations out. 10 of them, there's 10 presentations, and 8 of them are from the book, and 2 of them are my own aside annotations just on program design, etc., which I'll make that very clear which ones are mine. But hopefully it helps you guys with your programming going forward. So I'm going to sign off from this and move on to the next presentation.